Well, it's Saturday night, and it's Saturday night, Ammonite, which everybody knows, of course. I finally found something. Well, I didn't find it actually. Sebastian found something in the sand pit, and I don't ever. This one was a crazy one. Couldn't figure out where he got this because this was not one of my old ones. I had some old ones, and then actually Sabrina figured it out. This is one of my old ones because Mom, when we first moved back here to town and into this house, gave then toddler Sadie all of my old Matchbox cars. And Sadie promptly buried them all. So here's one. This one is, the crazy thing about this one. This one, it's like people have this specific one on eBay and they're asking like $150 for it. It's Breakaway Rocket. 1973 Mattel. Look at the big ass leaf springs it's got down there. Look, they even detailed out the, the thingy, not just the U joints. I keep thinking of a bad word that sounds like that. And every time I kind of come up with that word, the bad word pops up, and so I keep getting stopped. I don't know what can be. I mean, it could be cleaned up. What is that thing supposed to be, like a Pontiac El Camino or something? Looks like it got stepped on too. Honestly, I mean, this was mine. I probably destroyed this car in a fiery wreck. I was always setting fire to stuff. This one's axle rusted out. Well, I'm gonna have to look into thinking about. It would be fun to restore it. I don't know. What do you think? Too far gone? Got a couple others. Sebastian actually brought them in. I have more than this. Actually, I have a couple that are actually really cool. This one old here. Beat the living heck out of it. Hot Wheels, 1973, Hong Kong, Canada. Hang on, sorry about that. I had to rescue Kraken. So I got a few more. There are more than this, but they're in Sebastian's room. This is it's like the Burt Reynolds, right? Hot Bird, 1977, Mattel, Hong Kong. Yep, Yeepers. Oh, is it supposed to be like a mod of one of those? So it's like... Really? Huh. Interesting. So maybe it's like... Yeah, it's like some Pontiac El Camino, isn't it? Nutty. I got this one too. Hot Wheels, 1979. I think this one was supposed to have some kind of like boost thing. I don't know. The underneath construction is different. I bet it had a sprung rear end. I don't know. It's wacky. I wonder what that's all about. Well, that's pretty cool. So now, let's move to ammonites. Okay, so some time ago, somebody said, hey, do you ever find things that aren't ammonites? And I found this actually in an area that, I mean, I've looked at, but there's so much material over there. Plus, there's a whole bunch of like apple tree, like suckers. There's an apple tree over there, and it's sending up suckers. But anyway, this is a chunk of a bivalve called a Brachiopod. It's another kind of, bivalve. It's different than the sort of, clams and everything else we love now. They still exist, but this species doesn't. This is Inoceramus, like ceramic. It's the only species known of brachiopods or anything else that where the shells were constructed of this. Darn it. Would you? Awesome. That was just a watch case. Don't you worry. The only species. Okay, I got my brain back. Yeah, it's the only species where. That's amazing. Where I'm sorry. It's the only species where the shells are constructed of these calcite rods, these little needle-like things. It's diagnostic for an Inoceramus. They were all through them, all through the Cretaceous. The whole world was like the middle of the whole world was where Gondwanaland was breaking up, and so everything was this. Almost everything was this huge shallow sea that ran around the whole world, and these were big. These guys could get really really big, like big as a boogie board. And they have sort of things would attach to them, and sometimes when they would die, apparently they'd be opened. Fish would use them for shelter, and sometimes apparently you find fish fossils inside of them. I don't know if this one got squished in life, but it looks like the shell dwindles down to almost nothing over here. No idea why. But anyway, that's really cool. When I first started finding stuff, I found a lot of this kind of stuff, and I was like, what the hell is this? First, I was concerned it was like native asbestos or something, and it wasn't. There you go, Inoceramus. I don't know what the lines are, but... So, see, I do find other things. Next up, answering a question that I forgot to answer. Oh, wait, no. No. I lied. More ammonites. So, I went over to another place I haven't been before. We went there like a weekend, something odd ago. I hadn't been over there, but there were some just beautiful, beautiful ones. And I picked up this one. I don't know, something about it just sort of made me want to look at it. And this was just in a gravel pit. So this one's pretty interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I have a very good theory. I personally think, at first I was like, oh my god, it almost looks like cooled magma or something. And then I was looking at it closer, and I was like, oh, no, it's not. It's the inside casting, the inside of a coil of an ammonite curve. So it's like there had been the shell filled up with sediment or whatever it was, and then the environment that this stone went through, the shell was softer than this material that filled it. The shell went away, leaving this sort of worn stuff, which then got tumbled down the long rivers all the way down from the rising Rocky Mountains down into a big gravel bed where it's now in my hands. But the reason I'm not going to guarantee it, of course, but there's symmetries. You can see there's the midline right there, and you can see you've got the crossing is at an angle. It's pretty cool, man. It's just gravel in a parking lot. I found some of the great ones that day. Yeah, it looks like there's some suturing here, and I think the deal is if you can just sort of draw in your mind, just sort of draw a line up, just sort of imagine what this would look like if I covered it with clay, and smoothed it out, right? Because you got this curve, and you've got that curve. So I'm assuming these would have been curves of the smaller side. In fact, you can actually see, look at the impression right there. So maybe our starting point was right there, and then it got bigger and the whole thing got buried and it went back yonder and it had more coils there. Anyway, I think that's cool. It's a cool material. It's not magnetic. At first we were like, oh my god, is it a meteorite? But it's not. I don't think it is. It's not magnetic. And plus, it's got multiple layers and signs of flowing. So I don't think so. No. And plus, I don't think very many meteors have ammonite impressions on them. That's a cool one. I think that's cool. Just sitting there. There's so much wonderful, cool stuff in the world. Okay, now, somebody asked about my lightsaber crystal. Nobody said it had to be clear and beautiful like you bought it at the Renaissance Fair. I love this piece. Excuse my extremely dirty fingers. I've been in the garage. Oh my god, we had the most amazing, amazing, amazing luck. I just had this, just like, I don't know, I was like, I want to go to Habitat for Humanity and see if they've got that big wooden door or something like that. We go to Habitat for Humanity. I go huffing in there and I go into the back where they have like scrap kitchen stuff that's nice enough to keep inside. It was a complete wooden laminate top countertop with a sealed backsplash, and it was literally the exact size that I needed. And it's awesome. It's awesome, and because it's a smooth, cleanable surface, I can do more than just like bonking things and getting wood crap everywhere. Ah, you see, we're back. Yep, we're back. That's how it should be. I've been working on that. Anyway, this one is cool. Somebody had talked about trying to put a light behind this thing. See it. Oh no, I have to go save Kraken. Come on. Anyway, this is when you put really, really bright light through this thing. It's got all these sort of veins and twists, and you can see, of course, all the ammonite goodness. Yeah. So anyway, because it's got all this sort of weirdish, sort of half-melted translucency, I thought that'd be cool because it's also naturally triangular. So it actually has sort of a crystal sort of look to it, but like it's been beaten and melted and tortured. So, I don't know, corrupted in some horrible way. But isn't it pretty? Yeah, it is pretty. Look, and actually, look at that. It's 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 the golden mean. Look, the curl that comes out and it goes around and up and over and down. And then there's actually another one right there. In fact, you can see the second curl right there. Is that, I wonder, are those tentacle hooks? Because these things, the way that they work, they look like sort of yeah, I'm drawing a picture on a paper towel. So anyway, they typically are they start out like so, and they curl around, and they get logarithmically bigger, and then they sort of curl down like so, up, and it's just like a saxophone. It's the oddest thing. And then, it goes like so, something like that. And here is your happy fellow. And he's got all these tentacles, like so, lots of them, 10, I believe, and they all should have hooks on them. They all had little graspy, hooky things, all of them. They also, this little fellow, he had a beak, and it literally looked kind of like parrot beak. And you could see the point of it under like that. It would come up underneath. And so sometimes you see this shape. You see that. Also sometimes you'll see a bunch of little triangles. Like so. They'll be dark, and what that would be, especially if it's associated with one of these beak-shaped thingies, is that this is the radula. These are the little spikes that covered the organ that they would sort of lick everything with. So they had a beak to come and chunk you, snap, 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 and then they had the licky tongue with the giant things on it. But there you are. There is seemingly one of the most common ammonites that I see here. And I see elements of this over and over and over again, especially this part, that curve, that curl right there. Right there. So imagine this is, going up a little longer. Imagine this is a little deeper, right? But that curl, hang on. So you start recognizing patterns, but anyway, you've got this curl. It's like a U-bend, right? It's exactly what that is. It's the outside of the shell, and it comes whipping around this way, and you can see the internal structures of the middle level of the tubes right there. So you can see. And so these are other structures I always see. They look like shark teeth going around, but it's not. It's the structure of the shell. But yeah, so there's the top one. You can see the inside of the top tube and the bottom tube. And there it is again. Looking on the other side, if you flip it, it's even more clear to see. Now, it's possible that I'm entirely wrong. I don't think I am, but there's that structure. And then we go, here's another one. This one's a little easier to see. It's pointing in the same direction. Yeah, there's that midline right there. Yeah, it's right like that. So this one's a little more squished, but there it is. And you can even see the curve right there. Curl, curl, curl. And so you start to see these common structures over and over and over again. You start to be able to recognize them. After a while, it's kind of hard to say. I don't necessarily know what they are. Hang on one second. But it's absolutely possible I could be entirely mistaken. So, all this stuff now said, we know what Senor Ammonitis here is up to, right? So we're going to bring this back down. So you can see there's the upper curl right there, I think. Because you can you can follow the dots a little bit. I need to get you. There's a little better. Some, maybe. Who knows? Maybe not. Because there's the curl. Right there. See, it looks like a fern fiddlehead. Yep. And you can see these things curl and spin. I'm not exactly sure what the structures are in here, but they look gross. it's like this stuff. I need to get real tight on this, but is that our little beak? Because I don't think it'd be right here, but I don't know. What is this stuff? But something was here. Anyway, but this is going to be my lightsaber crystal. I'll run light through it, and I think that'll be pretty cool. Okay. There he is. The one who knows all the secrets. Who knows all the secrets. Probably not very good ones, but secrets nonetheless. Okay, folks, have a good night. I was like, hey man, I could show him that. There you go, look. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't need to do heavy construction or anything else like that. And having a cleanable top and the backstop is exactly what I want. So I'm pretty jacked about that. That's pretty cool. Also got 2 of those chairs for $15 each. Now that's what I call a bargain. Yeah, that's awesome. So that means I can just build it. It should vastly simplifies everything I needed to do. Fantastic. Okay, cool.